Have you ever wondered how the foods we eat today were completely different in the past? Welcome to the Matter Fact channel. In today's video, we will embark on a fascinating journey through time to explore how some of the most common foods have radically changed over the centuries. Our first stop is in the world of strawberries. This juicy and sweet fruit, so popular in desserts and snacks, didn't always have this bright red appearance and sweet taste. In fact, wild strawberries were initially quite different. Very small, less sweet and paler. These wild strawberries were almost unrecognizable compared to today's. Everything changed with the crossing of strawberry species from North America and Chile in the 18th century, an innovation that gave rise to the large and sweet strawberry we know. And here's a curiosity. From a botanical point of view, a strawberry is not a true fruit. What we call fruit is actually a pseudo-fruit, and the true fruits of the strawberry are the small grains on its surface. Now, let's peel back the history of the banana. The banana we know and love, sweet, soft, and seedless, is a surprising result of centuries of cultivation and selection. The first bananas, grown in Southeast Asia, were small, full of large and hard seeds, with a firmer and less sweet pulp. This evolution of the banana is an excellent example of plant domestication by humans. The Cavendish banana, predominant today, is a relatively recent development. It became popular in the 20th century after the near extinction of the Gros Michel variety due to a fungal disease. The history of the banana is a journey of transformation, adaptability, and unfortunately, also vulnerability to diseases, highlighting the importance of genetic diversity in food crops. The carrot, with its vibrant orange color and sweet flavor, didn't start out that way. Originating from Persia and Asia Minor, the first cultivated carrots were purple or yellow and had a much more bitter taste. They were initially valued more for their seeds and medicinal leaves than for the root. It was in the Netherlands in the 17th century that the orange carrot we know today began to take shape. Developed as a tribute to the House of Orange, the Dutch royal family, this new variety was not only aesthetically pleasing, but also sweeter and less fibrous than its predecessors. This change in the carrot is an excellent example of how cultural and political preferences can influence agriculture and plant selection. Corn, a staple food in many cultures, has a humble origin. Its wild ancestor, teosinte, had small and hard grains, very different from the large and juicy corn cobs we eat today. The domestication of corn, done by the native peoples of the Americas about 9,000 years ago, is one of the most notable examples of genetic alteration of plants by humans. Over millennia, these peoples selected and replanted teosintes with more desirable characteristics, such as larger cobs and more grains, leading to the modern corn that is one of the pillars of global nutrition. Today's watermelon, large, juicy, and sweet, is the result of a long process of selection and cultivation. The first watermelons, originating from Africa, were quite different. They were smaller, had a harder pulp, and were full of large black seeds. These fruits were valued by the ancient Egyptians, who even depicted them in their mural paintings. Over the centuries, the watermelon was cultivated to become sweeter and with fewer seeds, resulting in the variety we know and love today. The tomato, one of the pillars of world cuisine, wasn't always as popular as it is today. Originating from the Americas, the first tomatoes were small and yellow, quite different from the large and red currant varieties. Brought to Europe in the 16th century, they were initially feared and considered poisonous because of their resemblance to toxic plants. Over time, through careful selection and cultivation, the tomato was transformed into a fruit. Yes, botanically it's a fruit, larger, juicier, and tastier, becoming an indispensable ingredient in many kitchens. Isn't it crazy to think that the foods we eat every day were totally different in the past? Can you imagine biting into a multicolored carrot or a watermelon full of giant seeds? Which of these ancient foods do you think would be the strangest to try? Tell us in the comments. Oh, and if you're enjoying this trip through time, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. The eggplant, with its bright purple skin and smooth texture, didn't start out this way. The first eggplants were small, spiny, and varied in color, including white, blue, and even striped patterns. These early versions were more bitter and less fleshy. With the advancement of agriculture and selection, the eggplant was transformed into a variety of shapes and colors, including the large purple eggplants that are common today. Now, let's talk about the turkey. This bird, central to many festive celebrations, especially on Thanksgiving Day, was originally very different. Wild turkeys were smaller and more agile, with darker feathers and less body fat. The domestication and selective breeding of turkeys have been done for centuries, resulting in larger birds with more meat and lighter plumage. These changes reflect human preferences for more tender and abundant meat, shaping the appearance and nature of the modern turkey. The history of lettuce is equally fascinating. Wild lettuce, originally found in Asia and the Mediterranean, was bitter and often used for its medicinal properties rather than as food. With cultivation over the centuries, lettuce was transformed. Modern varieties such as romaine, iceberg, and curly are the result of a long selection process for softer, larger, and less bitter leaves, making lettuce one of the most popular salad vegetables in the world. The apple, one of the most beloved fruits, has also undergone a remarkable transformation. Wild apples, originating from Central Asia, were small and often quite sour. It was the efforts of cultivation and crossbreeding over thousands of years that developed the hundreds of varieties of sweet and juicy apples we enjoy today. The modern apple is a symbol of human ability to shape the flavor and texture of fruits to satisfy our palates. Finally, wheat, one of the most fundamental cereals for human nutrition, has an interesting domestication history. Wild wheat, with small grains and easily breakable spikes, was gradually transformed into plants with larger spikes and grains that remain on the spike, facilitating harvest. This domestication of wheat, started about 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, was crucial for the development of the first agricultural societies and continues to be a staple food worldwide. And so we conclude our incredible journey exploring the evolution of some of the most common foods. Don't forget to subscribe to the Matter Fact channel for more fascinating content like this. See you next time.